Welcome to WordNerd's Visualize Your Vocabulary. Turn any SAT or ACT word into a picture and you can remember it forever. Alright, let's get this started with. Our first word is lax. Lax is basically means you're lazy. As in, like, you're lazy, you don't want to do anything, so you're very careless. And remember this with wax. Your job is to go ahead and keep these wax figures, well, unmelted, and keep the air conditioning on its prime state. However, the problem is that you just realize that you are looking at Facebook a little too long, and now the wax figures are all melted. Alright, next up, we'll have apprehensive. Now, apprehensive is an adjective, and that just basically means you're like very anxious. And when you're anxious, you're not going to go ahead and do things really, really well at all as well too. And remember this with apple, hen, sieve. Now the apple hen sieve here basically does a great load of things. Now the hens and the apples are being sorted, and the apples were supposed to fall out, and there's hens in the sieve. But the smaller hens are afraid that they are going to go ahead and get inside. Next up, we have undulate. Undulate basically means a ripple, and this ripple here is basically the ninja ripple. Now remember this with ninja late. So yeah, next up we have forsake. Now, forsake just basically means you're leaving something and you're going away there forever and ever and ever again. So remember this with four snakes. Now, you go ahead, you hear the doorbell ring, you go outside, and then you see that there are literally four snakes right there. And with those four snakes, they say, we're gonna come in here, no matter what, whether you like it or not. You run away, and you run away from the house and your belongings forever. Next up, we have turgid. Now, turgid here basically means, this is gonna get a little weird, bloated. Now, when you're turgid, that just basically means you're going really bloated, like the kind you get when you basically have an allergic reaction towards something too. Remember this with turgent, and like this, turgent is actually the part of detergent. Well, this is pretty much how you do it. Now, okay, so you go to the doctor and you realize you have allergy towards cheap detergent. You use cheap detergent instead of the perfect expensive one that wouldn't make you allergic, and you go to the doctor with all these warts on you. And the doctor's like, what happened? And all you could say is turgent because your mouth's bloated. Next up, we have exonerate. Exonerate just basically means you can go ahead and you're like, you're absolving someone. You're going ahead and making them go away. And so with exonerate, remember it's with eggs on rake. Now the owner of a ranch goes ahead and finds hundreds of broken eggs. And then you're free to go because you're rake clean. But then the other rake cleaner has eggs on his rake as well too. And so he's like, yeah, eggs on your rake. That's a bad thing. Get out of here. Next up, we have rectitude. Now rectitude is a noun, and this is more or less like you hate someone. Your morality, of course. The morals of you. Your morals. When your rectitude is your morality, how moral you are. And so remember this with this. Don't actually go ahead and go to strip clubs though. I don't recommend it. Remember it with wrecked and nude. Now you go ahead and find nude dancing place, and then you go ahead, crash inside by accident because your morality made you get angry, and then you lost control of the car. Next up, we have quotidian. Quotidian just basically means someone who goes ahead and is like an idiot. He goes ahead, does things that are well known, but then he does these things that aren't. That does weird things, like daily basis. Let's say someone does this on a daily basis. Quotidian is someone who does it on a daily basis. And so remember this with quote idiot. Now this quote idiot is a very big idiot. He's like blah 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 blah. He says maxims in a way that are well known, but then he messes it up, like saying an apple a day keeps the doctor away. A doctor a day keeps the apple away. He says that. Next up, we have surfeit. Oh God. Surfeit is an adjective, technically a noun, that just basically means you have a surplus of something as well too. So remember this with surf wave, surf it. And so here the surfeit guy is like, hey, dude, they said there's a big wave going on over there. Wanna go? And he's like, no, I just ate a bunch of tacos. No, I can't. Next up, we have verdant. Verdant is basically an adjective, and this basically means you're very leafy. When you're leafy, of course, there's something that's wrong here too. You remember this with bird, ant. Now, a bird and an ant decide to play army. They camouflage themselves with a bunch of these greenery, and then they go ahead and call it a day. And so, that is today's Word Nerd Visualize Your Vocabulary. Let's do the final test, and let's go. Verdant, adjective. Surfeit, adjective. Quotidian, noun. Adjective. Rectitude, noun. Exonerate, verb. Turgid, adjective. Forsake, verb. Undulate, verb. Apprehensive, adjective. Lax, adjective.